Good day. It's August 30th. The time is 5:27 a.m. I woke up not long ago, but I had the weirdest fucking dream. And I'm about to tell y'all about it because I know it wasn't meant for me. It's somebody else. Now, I don't know if this is somebody that I might know or what, but I'm about to tell y'all what I saw. Well, what was happening, rather. Because it was like I said, it was happening to me. I was watching this shit happen to me. I'm smoking too, so. But I can't tell you how it started off. I'm just gonna tell you what I remember. I remember I was sitting with my grandbaby, but she didn't look like my grandbaby, and I was really upset. And I was talking to somebody, but this is what's about to fuck you up. Excuse me. The motherfucker I was talking to was inside of a box, a small ass box, but they wasn't dead. You thinking like, oh, you talking to somebody dead, Carl? No, I mean yes, because the person that I was talking to is actually dead in reality. It was my oldest daughter's father. He passed away damn near 20 years ago. But I was talking to him and he was mad at me. And I'm trying to figure out like why is he mad at me? Like you mad at me because this is how I made my money? Like I didn't do shit wrong. And he was inside the box, y'all. It was like a hat box, but maybe like a top hat box. So that's how big this box was, okay? But this motherfucker was literally whole body, all his shit in this fucking box, right? So I'm sitting and I'm sitting in a chair and I'm talking to this motherfucker like you really not gonna say shit to me. You just gonna stay in there and you ain't gonna say a fucking thing to me. All because of how I made my money. And the motherfucker was like, nope. So I got up, I took the lid off the box, and I had my grandbaby that was not my grandbaby on my hip because it did not look like my grandbaby. And it didn't look like my daughter either one of my daughters. But anyway, I had the baby on my hip. I took the lid off the box and I was like, motherfucker, you gonna talk to me. But when I took the lid off the first box, it was like another lid, but it wasn't another box. That's crazy. It was like a lid was like on top of the back of his head. So I'm like, motherfucker, you gonna talk to me because this shit is stupid. You're mad at me because of how I made my money, how I make my money. Like, I needed the money. What the fuck? Why are you mad? Now, let me back up because, like, why would somebody be mad about how you making money? Honestly, I don't know. All I'm getting is jealousy. But from what I'm remembering, the money was made because it has something to do with another guy, but it was nothing explicit. It just say like a Uber ride, okay? Because I don't remember exactly what the fuck it was. I'm just using it as an example. I ain't gonna even say an Uber ride. Just say for instance, you know somebody and they was like, you cool with them, and it might have even been a ex. You cool with them, but it ain't no bad blood or nothing like that. And they just you might have saw them out, or however, but you ended up giving this motherfucker a ride, and they gave you money for gas. They gave you money as if it was like a taxi or an Uber, and the motherfucker in my dream, which was my daughter's father, my oldest daughter's father, he was pissed the fuck off. Like, you couldn't get it no other way. And I'm like, you acting like I did something with the motherfucker. I just dropped the nigga off at his crib and shit and came the fuck home to you, like type deal, right? It ain't even got trippier. So I'm arguing with this nigga. I got my somebody's baby on my hip in this house, not a big house. The house looked like a combination of the house that I'm in now and a house that I used to live in. But also, it looked like my best sister friend's grandmother's house, at least the outside part. But the neighborhood was in the neighborhood that I lived in. The house that I said, another house that I looked like, it was that house. That it was that neighborhood. Like crazy as shit. That's why I said it ain't even got trippy yet. So it's a combination of a bunch of shit. And I know it wasn't me. So for whoever it was me, but I know it wasn't me that was art. Because first of all, the nigga dead. I ain't even trying to be funny. He been dead almost 20 years. What the fuck? And we never had an argument because of no shit like that. I did something to help somebody and I got no. I was a stripper. He knew about that shit. He didn't particularly care about it after I had my daughter. But motherfucker, I had to do what I had to do. Another story for another day if I decide to tell it. But anyway. So I ended up going outside on the porch. And that's when I realized the neighborhood, but I had a ramp on my porch. My porch was long. Like I said, it looked like my best friend's grandmother's house. It was a long ramp and it curved around. And then it was like at the side of the porch because the house that I used to live in, it had bushes. The porch was it was a small little square porch. And then it was like bushes on this side of the porch, bushes on this side of the porch. So just call it a stoop. But what I saw was it was like this is the I'm gonna use these two fingers. This is the porch, right? And then it was a ramp that came around and then it looped like that back around. So it was like that and then it came back down to the sidewalk. So I'm standing out there. I see an ambulance. I see the lights from an ambulance. I saw a lady on the steps talking to another lady as if it was like an apartment building, but it was a fucking house. This is why I said it is fucking crazy. I know it all means something because I can remember it clearly. And if the two ladies, I couldn't understand what they were saying. They were standing out there and they were talking. And I was standing out there when I walked out the door after the motherfucker said, no, he wasn't talking to me. I walked out the door, that's what I saw. But I didn't have my grandbaby on my hip no more. Or I didn't have that baby on my hip anymore. It was like the baby motherfucking disappeared. Then I'm standing out there and I'm fussing. I'm like, I'm just so sick of every time I do something, I'm wrong. Like, what the fuck? I just made some money. The money came back to the house. But it's like I'm talking to myself because these two ladies that's out there, I cannot hear them and they cannot hear me. I can only see them. I don't even think they saw me. But I'm rambling and I'm pissed off. Like, what the fuck? Every time I turn around, it's a problem with this nigga. I'm just making money. The money coming back to the house. Like, I'm so sick of this shit. But I'm yelling. Now, here's another part. Keep in mind, I'm outside yelling, fussing. I look to my left. I see a EMS truck. It's nothing going on. I just see an EMS truck sitting there. And people standing around the EMS truck as if it was like a fucking ice cream truck. But it's dark. So I gotta light my. So I go back in because I saw my youngest daughter. She came out. I'm about to tell you what she had on because I think this means something. I can't remember the exact color, but what I'm seeing is orange, but it could be like a orange is red or orange is yellow. Like it wasn't like a complete solid orange. Excuse me. And she came out and she was, excuse me, about to walk down the steps. That's somebody's confirmation. Excuse Excuse me. Yeah, that was your confirmation. But she walking on the steps, she got her purse, and she mad. And I called her by her name. And I was like, where the fuck you think you going? Get your ass in the house. Attitude, teenager. And she is actually a teenager. But it was my daughter, but it didn't really look like my daughter. But I knew it was my daughter. And she responded to her name. So she goes back in the house, but as she's going in the house, not her father, my oldest daughter's father said, "Come here, baby. It's all right. You know your mama be tripping and on that bullshit." And I'm hearing this and I'm like, again, how the fuck am I tripping and on some bullshit because of how I made my money? I ain't do shit illegal. I just literally helped somebody and they paid me, and you're pissed. Everybody's pissed. Why is everybody pissed about how I made this money? I don't know how much money it was. It was never stated. But a, a father and a daughter pissed the fuck all the way off because of how somebody made some money to the point where they're like shunning this person in 12, I can't even say it. It was 11:21, and then as soon as I was saying that, it was 11:23. So look that up. But I go back in the house. I'm watching them walk away, and he rubbing her on her back, telling her it's okay. Just, don't worry about this shit. It's cool, right? Your mama be tripping. So I'm pissed off. I'm mumbling, motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Talking shit. I'm tripping because I'm making money, and you know what I'm saying? I'm bringing the shit back home, and motherfuckers got an attitude with me. Now, if I wasn't doing shit, it'd be a problem. I'm mumbling. So I end up going into the basement. Now, it looked like the house of the basement that I had lived in before I had my youngest daughter, but different at the same time. Now, this shit is about to fuck y'all up. Because the next thing I saw this chick that I used to work with at the bar. She got killed like almost 10 years ago. Maybe a little more than 10 years ago, but she got killed. And I saw her. And she was sitting on something. She was not standing up. She was sitting. Like with her feet in her chest. Like she was tucked in, but she was sitting. And she was sitting on something. And she was like, she called me by my government. She like, what's wrong? Why are you crying? And it kind of fucked me up to see her. And I was like, I'm just sick of motherfuckers. And I'm and she like, okay. Mind you, this motherfucker ain't, only thing that done moved is her lips and her eyes, right? So I'm talking to her. And I'm like, I'm just sick of this shit. I'm just sick of it. And she like, well, it's gonna be okay. Maybe next time, just either don't say nothing or find another way to make it. And I'm like, what? And then it was like she turned away from me. Nesting dolls. Nesting dolls is what they just showed me. Like that's how the back of her, them dolls that just be the head and shit and the body is like round. That was like her. Like she turned around. Her and she looked like a fucking nesting doll. I'm sorry. I'm anxious. I'm trying to keep myself calm because I'm struggling to catch my breath. Or the motherfuckers could not want me to get this out. This might mean something to somebody, and it could be extremely important. Because when I tell you I was trying to come up out of this shit because I knew I was fucking dreaming, and I knew this wasn't me because I'm looking at me, and I'm like, bitch, wake up. And I couldn't wake the fuck up. And I'm like, I wasn't hurt or nothing. But anyway, I'm in the basement. Then this bitch turned around looking like a nesting doll from the back. And I'm just sitting there. I'm irritated. I'm frustrated, trying to figure out, like, what the fuck did I do wrong? I made some money. I brought it home. I didn't do nothing with this nigga. I ain't talked to this nigga. It just so happened to be right place, right time as far as financially. But it had to be a lot of fucking money because the nigga was livid. Like livid, livid. My child was livid. But different baby dad. That's why I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So whoever this is about, it maybe you don't have kids with this person, but somebody is they pissed. If you don't know, you about to find the fuck out that they pissed the fuck off at the fact of how you made this money. And you didn't do nothing illegal. You ain't do nothing. You didn't compromise yourself. You didn't do anything wrong. It was literally like a fucking fluke that you got this money from this person. Almost like how you see those things on YouTube and the people they be testing your kindness or testing you or whatever, and then they'll be like I saw this one yesterday. This guy walked up to this lady in this grocery store. He was like he was short $2 for his tissue. And then they showed me the tissue, Scott's tissue. So maybe Scott means something. But the lady gave him the $2, you know, and he told her thank you. And he, asked his questions. Why did you do this? And she like, because la 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 la, whoop, whoop, whoop. He like, well, I don't really need this money. And she like, oh, okay. Now you acting like my son, messing with me. You better go on before I get on the chair and pop you on your head. Or some shit like that. I caught that part. But anyway. So he talking to her, and she talking to him, and he like, I'm about to give you money. And she like, what? Quit playing. Go on somewhere. He like, nope. Pulled out some money. She got the praying, thanking God, thanking God, thanking God, like thanking God. Absolutely should have did that shit. The man ended up giving this woman $1,000 standing in the freezer section in the fucking grocery store. I thought it was an amazing thing. I don't know if it was staged, if it was real or what. But the woman had $1,000 that was just given to her because she gave somebody $2, basically. And that's funny. And this must mean something too. And I did not know this video me be talking this fucking long. But anyway, $2. These last $2. That was a song that I liked. That was my mother's ringtone, actually, and she loved that song. That was like one of our things. These last $2. I'm not gonna lose. These last $2. I'm not gonna lose. One going for my bus fare, and the other for the jukebox. To hear me some blues. That ain't exactly how it go. It go that way, but if you know the song, you know. But anyway, it's giving me like this person. Like I said, it was literally a fluke. Like somebody was like, "Hey, can you help me?" And this chick, because I'm getting a female, like she was like, yeah, I don't have no problem with that. Like, and then a motherfucker just gave her a bunch of fucking money, possibly, or just whatever, paid whatever, or gave whatever it was. And she was like, oh shit, cool, the fuck. And went back and shared the good news. And the good news she shared with the motherfuckers she shared it with, they was mad. They didn't like the fact. And now they trying to make her feel like, or whoever. I'm just telling you, I'm female. I'm a woman. So went back, said something, and it's just like motherfuckers mad about this money. It could be a subliminal for me. I mean, God, sister girl needs some munchies. I need them dollars. I mean, I take $2. A bunch of motherfuckers in the room. Everybody in that room give me $2. I'm good. And I don't like big crowds, but I work the hell out of that crowd to get them $2. That's how I made my money as a stripper. I was lazy than a motherfucker. Story for another day if I decide to tell it. But so whoever you are, if you think it, because I was feeling like, oh God, I just wish I hadn't never did this shit. And then I had another thought like, what the fuck you mean? You did nothing wrong. You did absolutely nothing the fuck wrong. So what do you mean you wish you hadn't? Fuck that. So whoever you are, That's just letting you know who's for you and who's against you. And even the child, it could even be your child against you, teaming up with their other parent, like going against one parent because of how the parent made some money or got some money, which was not illegal, didn't steal from nobody, didn't rob nobody. It was literally like winning the lottery without winning a fucking lottery, like playing the numbers. But you won 2020 on the timer. I'm about to get done because I need to cleanse my energy because that shit was crazy as hell. Like it was just fucking crazy as hell. And it ended with me just like, fuck that shit. And I woke up like, what the fuck did that, what, was I there? Was I there a dream? Like, what the fuck really was it? But I woke up like right after I was like, you know what? Fuck that shit. I woke up. So whoever you are, whether this has happened, this is about to happen, somebody mad gonna be very pissed off about how you make your fucking money to the point where they're going to wanna, they gonna turn their back on you and they're gonna try to make you feel fucking bad about how you made your money. Don't fuck that. You know you didn't do nothing wrong. Take that shit and get the fuck out of Dodge. Get away from them motherfuckers because they don't mean you no good, kid, baby daddy, aunties, uncles, parents, siblings. Get the fuck away from them. Former friends, because if they mad at you because you got a blessing, 2134, 1234 on the timer. Look at it. But if they mad at you because God blessed you with something, they ain't for you. And this is God letting you know. Get the fuck away from these niggas before you do anything with this money, or keep your goddamn mouth closed. Don't say a fuck word. You get a blessing like that just out of the blue. A nigga like, oh, 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 will you help me? And then they like, bam, bam, bam. And you like, fuck, 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 yeah. I can do A, B, C, X, Y, Z. I can pay my bills now. I can pay that late fee, or I can relocate, I can move, I can get my place, whatever the fuck it is. God is about to bless you with that money. And do not let somebody talk you out of your fucking blessing or make 2222 make you feel bad about what God has blessed you with. And do not forget, I just heard the lady from that video, give God all the glory. Because God is about to send somebody into your life that's about to give you some money that's going to help you. And it's going to be people pissed off. Leave the motherfuckers in their boxes. Leave them in their boxes. And that motherfucker, the nesting doll, listen to the nesting doll. Fuck that shit. The nesting doll, like I said, was there. Like, it's going to be all good. It's going to be good. Whatever. I said the fuck. I don't remember. But fuck that shit. Either way, I woke up like, fuck that shit. You say fuck that shit. Don't let nobody make you feel bad about a blessing that God has given you or will be giving you soon. Because it's something that is going to be completely unexpected. I just saw 2314. So 1234 again. And now I'm done.